From translation, TLB, the Living Bible. This 69th day of the year. Today we are reading passages Deuteronomy 32 to 34. Deuteronomy chapter 32, verses 1 to 51. Listen, O heavens, and I will speak. O earth, hear the words that come from my mouth. My message will fall upon them like rain. My words will settle like dew upon the grass, like gentle showers upon new plants. I will proclaim the name of the Lord, the greatness of our God. He is the rock, his work is perfect, for all his ways are just. A God of faithfulness without injustice, righteous and upright is he. They have acted corruptly toward him. Their children are no longer his. They are a deceitful and twisted generation. Is this how you repay the Lord, O foolish and unwise people? Isn't he your father who created you? Isn't he the one who made you and cared for you? Think back to the days of long ago. Consider the generations past. Ask your father and he will inform you, your elders and they will tell you. When the Most High gave to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the boundaries of the peoples according to the number of the sons of Israel. For the Lord's portion is his people, Jacob is his allotted inheritance. In a desert land he found him, in a barren and howling waste. He shielded him and cared for him. He guarded him as the apple of his eye, like an eagle that stirs up its nest and hovers over its young, that spreads its wings to catch them and carries them on its pinions. The Lord alone led him, no foreign god was with him. He made him ride on the high places of the land, and fed him with the fruit of the fields. He nourished him with honey from the rock and with oil from the flinty stone, with curds and milk from the herd, and with fat of lambs. Bashan rams and goats, together with the choicest of the kernels of wheat, you drank the foaming blood of the grape. Jeshurun grew fat and kicked. Filled with food, he became heavy and sleek. He abandoned the God who made him and rejected his rock, his savior. They made him jealous with their foreign gods and angered him with their detestable idols. They sacrificed to demons, not to God, to gods they had not known, to new gods that appeared only recently, which your fathers did not fear. You deserted the rock who fathered you, you forgot the God who gave you birth. The Lord saw this and rejected them because of his sons and daughters being provoked to anger by them. He said, I will hide my face from them and see what their end will be, for they are a perverse generation, children with no loyalty in them. They made me jealous by what is no God and angered me with their worthless idols. I will make them jealous by those who are not a people. I will provoke them by a nation that has no understanding. For a fire has been kindled by my anger, and will burn to the depths of the grave. It will devour the earth and its harvests, and set on fire the foundations of the mountains. I will heap calamities upon them and spend my arrows against them. I will send against them wasting famine, consuming pestilence, and deadly plague. I will send against them the beasts of the field, the venom of vipers that glide in the dust. Outside the sword will take their children. Inside terror will reign. The young man and the young woman will both perish, the infant and the grey-haired man. I said, I will scatter them and make their memory cease from among men. Had I not feared the provocation by the enemy, lest their adversaries should misunderstand and say, our hand has triumphed. It was not the Lord who did all this. For they are a nation without sense, there is no understanding in them. If only they were wise and would understand this and discern what their end would be. How could one man chase 1,000, or two put 10,000 to flight, unless their rock had sold them, unless the Lord had given them up? For their rock is not like our rock, as even their enemies concede. Their vine comes from the vine of Sodom and from the fields of Gomorrah. Their grapes are poison clusters, their grapes are bitter. Their wine is the venom of serpents, the deadly poison of cobras. Is not this laid up in store with me, sealed up in my vaults? To me belongs vengeance and recompense. In due time their foot will slip, their day of disaster is near and their doom rushes upon them. For the Lord will vindicate his people and have compassion on his servants when he sees that their strength is gone, and no one is left, slave or free. He will ask, where are their gods, the rock they took refuge in, who ate the fat of their sacrifices and drank the wine of their drink offerings? Let them rise up to help you, let them be your protection. See now that I myself am he. There is no God besides me. I put to death and I bring to life, I wound and I heal, and no one can deliver out of my hand. I lift my hand to heaven and declare, as surely as I live forever, when I sharpen my flashing sword and my hand grasps it in judgment, I will take vengeance on my adversaries and repay those who hate me. I will make my arrows drunk with blood, while my sword devours flesh, the blood of the slain and the captives, the heads of the enemy leaders. Rejoice, O you nations, with his people, for he will avenge the blood of his servants. He will take vengeance on his enemies and make atonement for his land and people. Moses came and recited all the words of this song to the assembly of Israel, he and Joshua son of Nun. When Moses finished reciting all these words to all Israel, he said to them, Take to heart all the words I have solemnly declared to you this day, so that you may command your children to obey carefully all the words of this law. They are not just idle words for you, they are your life. By them you will live long in the land you are crossing the Jordan to possess. On that day the Lord told Moses, "Go up into the Abarim range to Mount Nebo in Moab, across from Jericho, and view Canaan, the land I am giving the Israelites as their possession. There on the mountain you will die and be gathered to your people. Just as your brother Aaron died on Mount Hor and was gathered to your people. This is because both of you broke faith with me in the presence of the Israelites at the waters of Meribah Kadesh in the desert of Zin, and because you did not uphold my holiness among the Israelites. Therefore you will see the land only from a distance. You will not enter the land I am giving them as their possession." Deuteronomy chapter 33, verses 1 to 29. This is the blessing that Moses the man of God pronounced on the Israelites before his death. He said, "The Lord came from Sinai and dawned over them from Seir. He shone forth from Mount Paran. He came with myriads of holy ones from the south, from his mountain slopes. Surely it is you who love the people. All the holy ones are in your hand. At your feet they all bow down, and from you receive instruction. Moses gave us the law, a possession for the assembly of Jacob. He was king over Jeshurun when the leaders of the people assembled, the tribes of Israel together. Let Reuben live and not die, but his people be few in number. And this is the blessing of Judah. Hear, Lord, the cry of Judah, bring him to his people. With his own hands he defends himself. May you help him against his enemies." About Levi he said, "Your Thummim and Urim belong to your faithful servant, whom you tested at Massa, and with whom you contended at the waters of Meribah." He said of his father and mother, "I have no regard for them." He ignored his brothers and did not acknowledge his own children, but he watched over your word and guarded your covenant. They will teach your laws to Jacob and your instructions to Israel. They will place incense before you and burnt offerings on your altar. Bless, Lord, the work of his hands. Accept the work of his hands, strike down those who rise against him, those who hate him and resist him. About Benjamin he said, "Let the beloved of the Lord rest secure in him, for the Lord shields him all day long, and he dwells between his shoulders." About Joseph he said, "Blessed by the Lord is his land, with the best gifts of the heavens, of the dew and of the deep waters below, with the best fruits of the earth and its fullness, and the favor of him who dwelt in the burning bush. Let all these rest on the head of Joseph, on the brow of the prince among his brothers. In majesty he is like a firstborn bull, his horns are like the horns of a wild ox. With them he will gore the nations, who will all come under his power." About Zebulun he said, "Rejoice, Zebulun, in your going out, and Issachar in your tents. They will summon peoples to the mountain. There they will offer sacrifices of righteousness. They will feast on the abundance of the seas and the treasures hidden in the sand." About Gad he said, "Blessed is he who enlarges Gad's domain. Gad lives there like a lion, tearing at arm and crown. He chose the best part for himself. The portion of a lawgiver was reserved for him. He came with the leaders of the people. He executed the Lord's justice for Israel." About Dan he said, "Dan is a lion's cub, leaping out of Bashan." About Naphtali he said, "Naphtali is abounding with the favor of the Lord and is full of his blessing. He will inherit west and south." About Asher he said, "Most blessed of sons is Asher. Let him be favored by his brothers, and let him bathe his feet in oil. Your bolts will be iron and bronze. Your strength will last as long as you live." About Asher he said, "Most blessed of sons is Asher. Let him be favored by his brothers, and let him bathe his feet in oil. Your locks will be iron and bronze. Your strength will endure as long as you live. There is no one like the God of Jeshurun, who rides on the heavens to help you, and on the clouds in his majesty. The eternal God is your refuge, and underneath are the everlasting arms. He will drive out your enemy before you, saying, 'Destroy him.' Israel then will live in safety alone. Jacob's spring is secure in a land of grain and new wine, where the heavens dropped you. Blessed are you, Israel. Who is like you, a people saved by the Lord? He is your shield and helper and your glorious sword. Your enemies will cower before you, and you will tread on their high places." Deuteronomy chapter 34, verses 1 to 12. Then Moses went up from the plains of Moab to Mount Nebo in the land of Moab, opposite Jericho. There the Lord showed him the whole land, from Gilead to Dan, all of Naphtali, the territory of Ephraim and Manasseh, all the land of Judah as far as the western sea, the Negev and the whole region from the valley of Jericho, the city of palms as far as Zor. Then the Lord said to him, "This is the land I promised on oath to Abraham, Isaac and Jacob when I said, 'I will give it to your descendants.' I have let you see it with your own eyes, but you will not cross over into it." And Moses, the servant of the Lord, died there in Moab, as the Lord had said. He buried him in Moab, in the valley opposite Beit Peor, but to this day no one knows where his grave is. Moses was 120 years old when he died, yet his eyes were not weak nor his strength gone. The Israelites grieved for Moses in the plains of Moab 30 days, until the time of weeping and mourning was over. Now Joshua son of Nun was filled with the spirit of wisdom, because Moses had laid his hands on him. So the Israelites listened to him and did what the Lord had commanded Moses. Since then no prophet has risen in Israel like Moses, whom the Lord knew face to face, who did all those signs and wonders the Lord sent him to do in Egypt, to Pharaoh and to all his officials and to his entire land. For no one has ever shown the mighty power or performed the awesome deeds that Moses did in the sight of all Israel.